Well. I was able to reload the. Excuse me. I have a little bit of histamine reaction. Probably some from some very hot homemade chili I make. Uh, but I'm used to heat. It's not just heat, but there's some kind of histamine reaction. Anyway, got the sprout working again. Uh, Reload. I was able to find the software and reload it. You can't get to it. There used to be an online update portal, but that doesn't work anymore. But it still exists in the driver library. Apparently, there's an ISO file, which it's just a hassle to work with those. I mean, I get it for if you're doing core OS installation, raw from boot. Uh, but for a software package where you're already in the OS, there's really no point. I mean, I get it back in the day, but now just then they did. I will say HP did have that. They had the ISO file, but they also had a an update. But it's still pretty dead. Uh, anyway, uh, here's the difference: lamp off versus lamp on, and that's all native to the Sprout. Uh, so it's kind of nice. So maybe I'll keep running it. I don't know. Is it just me? I mean, I got into the problem of having to refresh Windows. Excuse me, it'll only run Windows 10. Thank God, I hate Windows 11. Uh, I wonder if it'll run Linux, but then all the controls will. I don't think I'll be able to access all the proprietary stuff. I don't know if there's a handle that I can brew to, uh, hardware handle to um, run the run the overhead stuff. I mean, it's got a forward facing like a webcam in the screen, and then a downward facing camera, which is nice for document scanning and stuff. So I guess I'll keep it around. But the question is, am I going to use it to do stuff like this, or am I going to try to streamline and modernize the setup? It's really too bad because the form factor is just easy. And that's really what I like about it. Oh, sorry for the histamine. So I'm back at the conundrum. Do I keep a dedicated desktop environment, or do I try to put all my eggs in the basket with my little GPD and set up purely um, a docking type station, which I'm going to do anyway. So maybe I'll keep this running while I do that because it's probably going to take me. I'm sure there's going to be lots of little things, especially I'm trying to work that GPD as the travel system and that kind of thing. You ever have that thing where you have a computer, and we're talking just information appliance type stuff. You use it for your just as an general information appliance, and the reason you keep it around, and I have done this, the reason you keep it around is all your logins are saved, and it just becomes so much of a goddamn hassle. And I get it with the password lockers and stuff, but sometimes I wonder about those too, how secure they are, or then if you if it's encrypted locally and then you lose that encryption, what do you do? um, but I've had that where it's just like, oh shit, and it's like it's just, and or even if it's not, you can't remember all the passwords. Just getting back to all of it, it's like, oh, this shit's logged into everything, bike training software or whatever it is you use. It's like, oh god, Garmin, and it's like I just don't want to have to load that ecosystem up again. And even the transfer stuff, I used to work on that. Boy, God, that was 98. Uh, I worked at, we made utilities, Windows utilities, and one of them was trying to transfer over applications. And so, what do we call it? I think Sherlock or the registry detective or something. You would try to grab the files, but you'd also have to grab the registry entries associated with the application. And oh dear, I mean, it was a hard problem. And not computationally hard, but just in terms of shit management. Just trying to get all the information from something actually installed and trying to install it on something else, especially if people used hidden registry keys, which I've worked at companies where we hid reg keys. There's still some software I'd like to access, but there's only a demo version out there, and I just can't for the life of me remember where that hidden wrench key was that would turn it from demo mode on to full mode. That's too bad. But yeah, so I think I've gotten into that. My last computer, which I really didn't like, the Asus Zen Duo. It's the an OLED screen and had that sub screen. The sub and it was one of those. I was making a um, I was trying to make the decision. Do I stick with old trusty? Now, I've always had tough books around, but do I stick with the old trusty, or it's like, what if I, what if I did start wearing a black turtleneck and be and called myself a creative, which is a term I really dislike. People are just creative in general. I mean, I get the arties want to say that. I guess I've got my own arts. Even in patent, they call it the useful arts. Engineering type stuff. And that, but I digress. But do I move from old trusty to something that's kind of more for? Does seem like it's designed more for media production and stuff. And it just didn't work out. First of all, the battery life was abysmal. Um, the uh, subscreen was real long and narrow, and I thought it might be good as like a mixer uh, surface. It wasn't. I don't mean to trash it, but it certainly did not fit me. And the keyboard, the glide pad, the touchpad was off to the right, not in the center. My wife's left-handed; she hated that, and it got weird because I got used to the muscle memory of that. But then you go to something else with a central pad, and it's kind of a problem. Uh, so that didn't work out. So and then I had the same regrets, not regrets. I had the same question, uh, hesitation. Um, with moving to the little GPD, uh, am I getting myself back into that, or do I just try to stick more trusty? But the ecosystems have changed too, right? So I don't know. So and it's like I could also be one of those guys, as I think I discussed yesterday, of trying to limp around old hardware and be one of those esoteric, like, oh, I'm an esoteric Sprout guy, and I know the Sprout in and out, and it won't run modern software and all these sorts of things. But I don't think that's really a good use of my time. And I have to keep in mind all this stuff is machines for living, and that's again what I'm here for. Uh, so um, just thought I'd check in and say, hey, I got the Sprout sort of semi-resurrected. So I think I'll keep it around as a useful sub tool, and I'm not going to let it stop. I'll try to check in on this. Again, I'm sorry for the histamine. But I'll check in with this, maybe use it as it is, and use it as a transitional piece. And if I keep it as a museum piece, I keep it as a museum piece. If I give it someplace else, it's a little rocked. Um, if I if I can find someplace for it to live, I think it would be neat to have this as an operating example of a a line that failed, a branch in the home computing that failed, uh, but a living example of that. I wish it didn't, um, but also, do I really need to have the horde, and is having it in my room really a thing that would do anybody any good? Uh, okay, well, I am going to continue on with my day. I did about an hour, 15-minute ride on the trainer, just trying to deal with the health problems and get it back together. Uh, about half of it with a breath restriction mask on, so I can get used to CO2 loading a little better. Hopefully, continue on with that. Anyway, that's a bunch of here nor there stuff I haven't even ever described to you guys, who don't exist, by the way, which is fine. This is just a vlog. Uh, but yeah, I'm going to live well. I'm not going to get down on it, which is normally my thing, and continue on.